What up, everybody? It's Ponter here, and today we've got a special game. It's going to be a game on Riviera. This was played in November 2024, and it was sent to me by Small Island. And it's going to be special for a couple reasons. We're going to get to see two types of approaches to Riviera, because Riviera 4v4, I think, and a lot of people might agree with me, that it is the pinnacle of Wick. Now, some people might say Riviera 5v5 is better, but I say Riviera 4v4 is the purest example of Wick you can get to. Maybe Seaside beats it out, but let's be real here. Riviera is one hell of a map. So, and we've got a 4v4 on it. It's going to be a match mode. It's going to be pretty competitive. We're going to have decent teams, and it's going to be an interesting matchup in terms of teams. And we'll be watching from this Patroclus, I don't know. This is Small Island, otherwise known as Small Brain, otherwise known as the creator of Caspian, which is a pretty good map. And already they're talking about sending replays to Ponter. Not about this replay, though, about, I guess, the past game. So if anybody has that past game, if it's good, send it my way. And while we're waiting for the teams to form up, we can talk about probably why there's not going to be a lot of good games coming my way, because from my understanding, from my observations and conversations with folks, it sounds like the schism in the Wick community that I was talking about last video, and you can go check that out if you want to get caught up, but that schism has only gotten worse. So it seems, to basically give you an analogy of what I think has happened, imagine what would happen to the Chinese-United States relationship if China tried to take Taiwan. And I assume if China tried to take Taiwan, there would be some conflict, and then there would be a protracted decoupling of the United States and China, and probably the rest of the West. That protracted decoupling is kind of what has happened in the community. I think a lot of people on one side have kind of picked up the ball and gone home, and then others are moving forward. I think right now, Wickgate seems to be the more active community. Like if you want to play with weird Russians, you can definitely do that. And Massgate is still a little active, I think. But there's now two Discords. Like it's a mess. So I hope those guys can get it together. But I'm not holding my breath. And it seems like stuff has been going on that might make it difficult to have any kind of reconciliation. That's all I'm going to say. But Small Island, I would say, is one of those Wick Gators. And he sent this to me. So we're going to watch this. And we're just going to fast forward a little bit. The Finnish switch has happened. You'll love to see it. And this is the team we're going to be dealing with on the USSR side. We got Studerball on support, classic. Small Island is on armor, which is probably his best role. Spirit Gun on inf, that's classic. And Kide on air, that's really good. On the NATO side, this is where I'd be sweating a little bit if I was in Small Island's shoes. You've got Dex and Kickapoo on the same team. This Smurf balance, I think that's Peru. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like that's a Peru name, or like Smurf Balance. It is an older Smurf name. Like I've definitely seen it around. I don't know who that is though. And then Muku. And now this is the important thing, and this is why Riviera is so great. You have choices as USSR and as NATO, but you kind of have the initiative is in the USSR's hands because they can either attack the mill or they can push the town. And on a 4v4, you really have to choose where you're going to go. Because as we're going to see, you don't have as many units, and you can't stretch yourself too thin because you're just going to get BTFO'd by air, or you're not going to have enough to push and actually make the caps. You might push enough, maybe you get a decap, and then everything dies, and then they just recap, and you just fed them a lot of TA. And you can get into a really negative cycle if you do that. And it's really risky in town because, you know, that's their backyard. Like, they have a lot of strategic depth here, lots of cover. They can reinforce from right here. On the other hand, the mill, like, you don't get as many. Like, this is 4 points, and this is only 2. You don't get a lot of other benefits, but it's a lot harder for them to get up here and hold it. So they're already kind of planning the 1-2 punch, which I like to see. I like that little dynamic approach. So you're going to push the town. If that fails, push the mill. But that's requires a lot of coordination from the team. And so we're going to keep an eye on that coordination. Yeah, standard play. And the real concern is the matchup of infantry and maybe the air, but, you know, Spirit Gun has a lot of experience just getting rolled by these kind of monster inf players. And, you know, we're going to see what happens here. In the meantime, a lot of heavies. Interesting. They see off Smurf Balance. That's a really aggressive poke by Smurf Balance. But watch this. Watch Kid A in all her glory. Pops the first AA. Pops the second AA. Loses the scout, but the choppers are fine. A little bit of split action for the vision. Perfect. Attack rounds and, like, blows this guy up almost perfectly. But Kickapoo does the little quick reinforcement trick. But this stuffed them up and allowed them to get the cap. And that's huge. That's huge. They haven't capped this. They haven't capped this. These guys capped this. Interesting use of laser guided bombs here. That's 8 TA down the tubes in the first 2 minutes. Look, pretty interesting choices there. Smurf Balance gets outplayed by the AA, and another clutch attack here by the aggressive. She doesn't have any scout, doesn't care. Going to prevent another cap, and look at that tick advantage. That's huge. That's super huge. And what is this? Going back in for more? That's aggressive. And this is clutched by Smurf Balance. Really good job. Why is he here? To give vision to see off Kid A. So that's really good teamwork there, and they're going to get the cap. But still, really good start for this team. Like, this is like the perfect start. Wait, you know, cap your shit and don't have a catastrophe over here. Stuff them up in the spawn, and then boom. This is perfect transition too. This could have been a little faster. Again, if you didn't have that laser guided bomb, you could have had this a few seconds sooner and probably put it a little back here and really done some damage. And if you're asking for arty, go and give that to somebody. Go give that, dump that onto Studerball or somebody, or Kid A probably has some spare change. And we're just going to watch this tank get popped. Hate to see it. Never keep tanks on this point, guys. Like, you get your cap and you get the hell out. And you just hide behind here. Especially, you know, you only have so much attention. You can only, you know, you're probably going to be tunnel visioning over here. Like, a lot of people play like this. But you know you have 1,200 worth of points on a tank here. It has no vision. And who drops this already? Yeah, Studerball with another clutch already. This is great stuff. He's e-begging for TA. Having comms, again, is a lot better. Because you can go and, you know, tell people, hey, I need TA a lot faster. And they're finally going to get the point. And now this team is going to have to make a decision. So, like, we town pushed. You know, we got lucky. Now we got cleaned up. We invested quite a lot into it. Like, there was, you know, 26 TA or 28 TA worth of RDs, some drops, a couple spawns worth of units. But now they're deciding to push over here. And it's a shame that they lost that tank. Like, that tank would have been pretty helpful. So, again, guys, you got to keep an eye on your units, especially in a 4v4. You know, if they're not going to be engaging the enemy or pushing, why expose them to danger? And, like, this is always a classic. Like, yeah, this tank is doing some work. It's keeping them off these points so they won't fort it, which is great. But now your support player needs to defend it. And now, you know, now the support player has to be 2 places at once. And if an air player can concentrate, you're going to lose. And then the air player can swing around, repair, and then kill you over here as well. So right now, like, if you just consider it, like, they're making a push here, and it's getting to get cleaned up. And they don't have enough to really push here just yet. So you kind of split your attention, and you're going to fail in both places. Or apparently you're going to have a tougher time, let's say. But some aggressive AA poking. This guy's sleeping at the wheel again. If you're an air player, he's playing split air. That's a risk you're going to take. He gets cleaned up, and now there's an opportunity. Full air, concentrated air is coming in. Are we gonna drop some TA over here? That's really aggressive. Like I would have waited for the TA. Okay, there's a TA. They're gonna clear this. In the meantime, Spirit Gun lost his tank over here. Again, that heavy tank. If you're gonna say, okay, we're gonna push the mill, guys, you don't need to have a heavy tank in the super exposed point. You could like pull it over here. I think he pulled it over here at one point, and I think it died over there. But you could again pull it back to here, and just as like a strategic reserve. So once this stuff dies, you can just send it up as well. And it's defending this stuff. And it's not like you're going to get pushed here anyways. Like, what are they going to do? Like, you don't need a tank if you're not going to push. But Studerball now needs to come here. And Studerball is playing the greediest game. And we're going to talk about the greed later. Like, he's greedy in multiple ways. Like, with the rep taking a 4v4. So greedy. And he had, like, 4 Jeeps on the field at one point. One of them died. And look at this. Sees him off. Like, he kills one chopper. So he has the 2 AA. Like, if you're going to be up on the mill, you have no business being up on the mill as a support player with less than 2 AA. Like, you need 2 AA up there. And you need to tell your inf player, get some shitheads. Like, get 2 shitheads up here and 2 AA. And then suddenly the air is going to have a lot tougher time getting up there. And once again, like, what's this tank doing, guys? What's this tank doing? It's shooting inf? Useless. He's actually, yeah, he's going to move it over here, and actually it's going to do some stuff. He's going to hunt some AA. Dex is kind of bot, like, this is a pretty botched job at the AA. Like, they're just sitting there just eating tank shots. In the meantime, well, Kid I think got cleared. Well, she died completely fighting up here. I guess, yeah, Dex has 2 AAs there. Like, Dex has a lot of AAs. He's not going greedy. And we can just compare the scores here. Non-greedy, kind of standard 4v4 AA versus super greedy, let's get lots of reps approach. And then, yeah, boom, this tank is going to get popped. Or it's going to get saved by the medium anti-air. Oh, that's miraculous. And these are good. These light tanks are good. And my only critique so far is no paras from Small Island. And Kide has a tough time up here. Yeah, rip the air, just completely wiped. Again, there's shitheads from Kickapoo. Good AA from Dex. Again, maybe wait before you dive for the drops to come in, and then you dive. But it's always hard to make those calls. And now look at this. So the mill push was successful. They got cleaned up and they got pushed back, and Small Island has decided to push the town again. So he's kind of changed his mind. Like, that's some ADHD shit. This is some ADHD shit. Or I guess, you know, Studerball needed to take some more Adderall or something so you don't make that mistake. But you can see when you're not communicating and you're kind of changing on the fly without communicating, you get a lot of fuck-ups like this. Like, Spirit Gun didn't need to do these 2 drops. Like, they would have been better in the town. And, you know, Studerball didn't need to send that AA up there. It would have, again, been better in the town. Or back here. So, if you're going to do these moves, you have to tell your team, and this is why comms is so important, because it's like, seat of the pants decision. It's like, okay, we're pushing town, my spawn is coming in, everybody, we're pushing town, let's go. So that's why you got to talk to everybody. And then also, like, yo, give me some TA, I want to drop some RDs, I want to clear these. You know, there's lots of stuff you can do if you just tell your team, yo, let's get our shit together, we're changing the plans. And then, you know, you don't get this unsynchronized fuck-ups. And then when this team has made the correct decision, or like the correct reply, so it's like, I'm NATO, I defended the mill, I defended a town push. What are they gonna do? Oh, we beat them in the mill, they're going back into the town. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna push down from the mill and do a cheeky farm cap, and then force them. Like, Studerball had to fire some artillery off, Kide had to come in. Suddenly, there's no more town push again. And again, like, this tank is doing good work. It's beating up these lights. That's why I always go back and forth. It's like, yeah, this heavy tank is a liability. You gotta defend it. It's super exposed. But the other team from the NATO side, you never want to have a heavy tank in the town as NATO, because it's just like a really shit spot for a heavy. So you're always just going to send like light tanks and mediums. So heavy tank can just bully all those units. It's just, now you have to defend it, and you've got the greediest support player in the world, who's not going to defend it very well. Like there's no AA over here. Like this just living on a hope and a prayer that the air doesn't notice this thing, like beating up everything. So risks you take. And then speaking of the greediest support player in the world, look at this. With the 10 minutes in, he's gonna do a carpet right onto the woods as Spirit Gun. Like Spirit Gun's just taking massive team killing the whole game. Like he got his first drop killed by an artillery. But this is a great carpet. Like so lucky that like Dex drove or Muku drove like Muku shouldn't have been driving there, and he just happened to. And then look at this sync up, kills all the support the first time, and the support runs away, and then just that next spawn of lights just gets killed by Kid A. So aggressive with that, and they're gonna go and get a dirty cap of town off of that carpet bomb. So that's a great carpet bomb. I mean, I would criticize it just on general principle, but it worked really well, and they get a brutal cap, and that's pretty much like a GG. Like it's now USSR's game to lose, and I just want to note, like, look at these teams, guys. Like the teams, I would be putting my money on NATO going into this. Like, again, like I don't have a lot of faith in Spirit Gun all the time, but he's having a great game. Like this shithead situation, and here he's got 4 shitheads in there, just like guerrilla warfare, like Viet Cong with stingers, just frustrating the air player. Like the air player cannot play his game. Like again, this tank should have been dead a long time ago. Now it's finally dead. But this guy's wasting so much time killing these damn shitheads. Either giving vision, like Kid A knows when to go in because they have vision in here. Because it's always scary diving these woods. Like how many times have you played air and tried to dive these woods, and there's like an AA in the crease of the woods that you didn't see and just kills you? Like it happens to me all the time. So having the vision in these woods really helps the air do their job a lot better. I should kill this guy in the town, in this building, but... And then, yeah, let's go back to... So he drops 45 TA in a crazy-ass carpet bomb, and now he's dropping 30 TA on his own light tank drops. Like, is this guy... Is Small Island's light tank drops, were they under cooldown? Like, why are you doing this? Why are you dropping 30 TA on support tanks? And the great thing is, like, he's not even supporting them very well. He's got his one half strength AA to defend them with the rep tank. And then there you go. Okay, we're gonna pause and talk about this ink right here, because this is. So I just said, this is USSR's game to lose. Like they have taken command of the game, and as a NATO side, okay, everything's falling apart. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna drop a nuke, and they make the classic blunder of the Riviera nuke at the wrong time. Like, you have 7 minutes. Like, think about this. Like, you're not going to lose. Like, you are getting out-ticked, but you have 7 minutes to come back. Think about when you're going to nuke and the context that you're nuking. Look at what's going on here. All the support and armor is in the mill or in the town with all the inf. The air can fly away, obviously. You have one place to nuke right here down the middle. What are you going to kill? And it's like... It's not like there's 30 seconds left and you have to do it. Like, you can hold that for a little bit and just see, oh, wow, our flanks are falling apart. Maybe now is not the time to do the nuke. Because he just killed nothing. He killed, like, 2 or 3 inf, I think, and a couple forts. Air flew away, and look at this. Scans from Kid A. That's the time to scan, though. It just kills everything. And then look at this. Even more extravagant use of TA. Is this going to hit? Is it gonna save? He's gonna save the repair tank. Like the greed of this team, and it worked. It worked, and he saved the rep tank to rep another day. And that's another extravagant scan. Like I don't know what that scanning is for. Like maybe I guess to check the woods. Look at that sniper in there. Damn. So yeah, the rep tank is saved. Praise be the rep tank god, and it's gone. So. Now was the time for comebacks. We got the panic heavy artilleries again from other players. Like these guys clearly do not trust Small Island with TA. Like everybody's fending it themselves. Like I guess they're giving some the Spirit Gun for drops, but like they're like, fuck you, Small Island. You're not getting nothing. But there is a bit of a comeback from NATO, but it's a really fake BS comeback. Because, like, look at this. Like, although, look at that shithead. Oh, my God. Star. They're, like, pushing into town and decapping town. They're going to get this back. They're going to get this back. That nuke did jack shit. Like, think about this. What could you have done with that? You could have cleared this and really started pounding up here. You could have waited, let's say, and done a whole bunch of drops over here. Like, again, you can kind of absorb, from the NATO side, you can kind of absorb the attacks. And then you just hold it and wait to get them all clumped up. Like, right now, it would be the perfect time to nuke. Like, that would have been a game, if he had waited, like, 2 minutes. And I go, like, you clean up the flanks, you get them concentrated, balled up, and then you blow them up. You cannot nuke when they're on the flanks. Like, especially on a map like this. Like, it just makes no sense. So, yeah, we've got lights swarming everywhere now. Look at that star. That's a star medium anti-air. You don't see that every day. Aggressive medium anti-airs from Studerball. Like, he really is, you know, he's just YOLOing, you know, living his best life as support. There's no more rep tank, thank God. I guess that nuke killed the Jeeps. Or somehow the Jeeps died. So, yeah, they did that. That's something. And I will critique the light tanks getting chucked in there with no support. Not the best. I just want to call it, like, Spirit Gun has held it down, though. Like, he's kept the shitheads in the middle. Like, if you're an inf player, that's all you got to do is shitheads in the middle. Really aggressive. No, is he going to kill his star with his own artillery? Please. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. I bet that thing, like, fires like crazy, and like it just recharges, because like the more veteran you get, the less the recharge time is. So a super high veteran guy must be just like shooting all the time, and probably higher accuracy too, because you get that with veterancies. Like, one of those things must just kill choppers or kill anything really. Here we go. Kid A is having a great game. Like, look at these ranked up choppers. Oh, another scan. Doesn't even bother with the risk. They get a dirty cap though. You really got to kill that imp in those woods. And they're on the ropes now. Like, they have a sliver left. Again, this is where you would be like, oh, I wish I had a nuke right now. I wish we didn't blow that nuke on, you know, in the worst possible time in the entire game. Wish I had that ADTA right now. Because you can come back hard on this map. Like, this is a very comebackable map. And no, not the Jeeps. Not the Jeeps! Studerball. So greedy. And he pays the price. Another cap, another, that star, if it's still alive, drops up here. Finally, some drops from small islands, and oh yeah, they survived. Like, can they come back from this? It's still not totally over, but you have to do like total, like, you only have 3 minutes. You have to TD them. You have to clear up here. You have to, like, they're really getting into the farm finally, but that's kind of like too little, too late. And yeah, he's splitting out. He's doing all the right things. Let's see, is that tank buster gonna hit? Like, look, like, they're really coming back now. They got pretty much everything. And yeah, Studerball is rightly saying, like, don't YOLO all your stuff alone. Like, this is full on YOLO, but he's got the medium anti-airs. Like, this is the kind of last minute shit that you gotta do. And Kickapoo's really YOLOing as well. Like, this is like human wave assault. And just, oh my god, human wave assault into the Shilkas? That hurts. Like, imagine being told to just charge 3 Shilkas in the open, bro. That's pretty fucked up. And yeah, defensive RDs. So, I think what we can learn from this is, like, you gotta, this is why you want to have an armor player that you're confident in and that you trust and you have good communication with, because you want to have everything kind of flowing to the armor player or the inf player, one or the other, who runs the TA show. And like, is this going to die? Survive. So you want to have that, because this team did kind of like fritter away a lot of TA, but I mean, I can't criticize it. Like, it worked really well. On the other hand, like this, and then on the other side, like, look at the score of Studerball versus Dexter. Like, he almost has 1,000 more score than Dexter. And that's just the approach of the greedy. Like, maybe, like, Dexter's probably feeding all the TA to Kick, because Kick is like a giant, insatiable TA pit. But he's probably, also Dexter's probably just going full on AA. Like, I haven't seen a rep tank out of him. Like, he's playing how I would play And I always notice, like, I don't score very high. Oh yeah, there's the decap. So the comeback is they got a minute. I don't score as high if I do the non-greedy support, but I think it's better for the team to not do the greedy support. But just all this TA, they've been managed to just shellac this team in very clutch times with the TA. Like that carpet really helped. The clutch RDs, the drops up here, even the stupid light tank drops that was kind of retarded, but you know, it's not that bad. Yeah, Spirit Gun needs to wake up. Wake up, Joe Biden. He's 2 years. 2 years. He's not going to make it. But they built up such a huge lead, and this team burned all their TA that they just really couldn't come back. Like, you really need the perfect mixture of, like, TA expenditure and, like, spam, and the other team to kind of drop the ball and get caught off foot, and then like spawn raping with the RDs and whatnot, and that never really happened. Because I've seen comebacks come back from positions just as bad as this. Like they had 7 minutes when it was like really bleak, but they kind of botched it. So this was NATO's game to lose, and they lost it. So just consider that. Interestingly, like Muku outscored Small Island. Is it a skill? Like he got a lot of caps. Was it skill issues or was it him getting fed? Yeah, he got fed a lot. So yeah, what happened is Dex fed Muku and probably Smurf balance as well. And the air was pretty close. So this guy who I couldn't figure it out. I wasn't watching the air closely enough to guess who that is. If you want to identify yourself, you can do so. You know, they call him Dugout Kickapoo with the fording. That's all he did. He did get best infantry. So yeah, like they had like they outplayed them, but like the support play from Studerball, like look at that score. That's a monster score. Just score whoring like crazy. How much did he get for repair? Yeah, 500 from repairs. So even then the delta is still like it wasn't just the repairing. Let's say maybe he got a lot of enemy damage. I don't know. But yeah, that was a good game. Thanks to Small Island for sending that. Again, send me more replays. I'll even take the Wickgate ones. I don't really care that much. I'll see how it all works out in the end. But yeah, take it easy, guys, and later.